the ground shake.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Gummy, and today we are back with another statue tutorial, again doing another YouTuber. This time it is LeafyIsHere. So Leafy being an extremely popular YouTuber, I've had a lot of requests in the past to do him, and I've kind of been worried to do it because my channel is very PG and family friendly, and of course Leafy's channel and his audience definitely are not. So I'm going to have to be careful with the comment section in this video. If things get a bit too negative, I might have to, I'm not really for censorship, but I might just turn comments off because, again, I want to keep this a family-friendly and PG area. So, again, if you have got a valuable comment to say, whether it's positive or negative about the video, let me know down in the comments below. Leave a rating as well, good or bad, I don't mind. And also subscribe if you're new. But with that said, I'm going to list off the blocks you'll need. So I'm going to also put out a disclaimer, this is based on his lizard character. So when he's as a lizard character with his obey hat on and then the 2 cigarettes coming out of his face. So that's what we're doing, and this was designed, I'm not 100% sure, I believe it was a combination between RustledDaJimmies and LazarSvabic, so I'll leave a link to both of their social medias down in the description. Anyways, the blocks you'll need to build this are green stained clay, lime stained clay, green wool, yellow stained clay, white stained clay, black stained clay, brown stained clay, grey stained clay, block of quartz, white wool, red wool, black wool, acacia planks, dark oak wood slabs, and then black and grey carpet. So if you want to grab them blocks into your inventory, that would be great, and then we're going to get straight on into building. So, what we're going to start off by doing is finding a nice empty area. As you can see here, this works perfectly. We're then going to start off by building the first layer. Now the layers, as I was going to explain in a second, is for the legs at least, which is what we're building now, is 12 tall and 8 wide, which means each layer is 8 blocks wide and there's 12 in total. We're going to start off building the legs, the front of the legs to be more specific, then we'll move on to the body, arms, and then the sides, rear side, and then ultimately the head. So we're going to start off, again, as I said, at the front side of the legs. We're going to start off by placing 1 green stained clay, 1 lime, 4 green, 1 lime, and 1 green. As you can see here, it should be 8 blocks wide, and that is the first layer. The second layer is 8 green stained clay. So we start on the left side. Again, we place 8 green stained clay, and that is the second layer complete. For the third layer, we're going to place 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, 2 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. And again, I keep on backing up after each layer. That's just to give you guys an opportunity to pause if you want to pause the video. If you don't, then feel free to just continue or skip ahead. But I will keep on giving you guys opportunities to pause because I feel it's like the best way of doing things. If I skip ahead, do it layer by layer, some of you guys might get left behind, and if I don't give you guys an opportunity to catch up, then it's not really going to be very useful for you. So, continuing now, the next 2 layers is 8 green wool. So this is the 4th and 5th layer, and that is, again, 8 green wool. So currently, it should be 5 blocks tall and 8 blocks wide. The 6th layer is 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, 2 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. The next layer, which is the 7th layer, is 2 green stained clay, 1 lime stained clay, 2 green, 1 lime, and 2 green stained clay. The layer after that is 1 green stained clay, 2 lime, 2 green, 2 lime, and 1 green stained clay. The next layer is 1 green, 1 lime, 4 green, 1 lime, and 1 green. And that was the 9th layer. The 10th layer is 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, 2 green wool, 2 clay, and 1 wool. And then the final layers, the 11th and 12th layer, is 8 green wool. And in total, that will give you a 12 by 8, 12 tall, and 8 wide, and it should look something like this. Now, if you want to pause here and copy that over, if you haven't already, then feel free to do so. What I'm also going to do is prove to you that it is, in fact, 12 blocks tall. So, what you can do, if you're on PC, press F3. If you're on console, grab yourself a map. Look for your Y coordinates. So, as you can see here, mine is in the top center of the map. If I go down, the number goes down. If I go up, the number goes up. So, what I'm going to do is take a seat on floor level. As you can see, my floor level is Y5. Please do consider that yours won't be necessarily the same. Yours may be different, so base it on your Y level. So, I'm not really going to say 5. I'm going to say Y. So what we're going to do is add 12 to y, so the equation would be y plus 12. In my case, the answer to that equation would be 17. Again, yours might be different. If your y level is 8, then your answer would be 20. If it's 10, it'd be 22, etc, etc. So I'm going to fly up now, and I'm going to sit on the top of the leg, and as you can see here, it is in fact y17. So that means that this is 12 tool, and again, yours may be a different coordinate at the top. Please do the factor out in, and don't end up building something that's like 5 tool because you thought it had to be at y17. It doesn't, that's just an example. It will be 12 blocks off of your ground level. So, as I said, this is the front of the legs. What we're going to do before we move on is add a little 3D effect. We don't normally do this on the legs, but it's going to be like claws / feet. So we come to the bottom left corner, and we're going to place one green stained clay in front. So it is 3D, we place it in front, not into, not replacing, in front. We're then going to leave a 1 block gap to right, place one more. Leave a 2 block gap, place one, 1 block gap, place one. So there's 4 in total. There's left, and then, so it's first, third, and then 6th and 8th block. And in between each one should be a lime stained clay, as you can see here, and that's essentially what identifies it. And essentially these are feet / claws, whatever you really want to class them as. Anyways, what we're going to do now is, on the basis you've got something looking like this, we're going to move on to the body. So the body is the same logic. It's 12 blocks tall and 8 blocks wide. We're going to start off on the first layer, which is continuing from the previous layer. So we're going to place 8 green wool. We're then going to go on the left side 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left using green wool. We're going to do the exact same on the right side. We go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 blocks to the left, 4 blocks to the right. And again, both sides using green wool. Now essentially what that's doing is marking out where the hands go, and we'll come back later on and work on the arms. But for now, we're going to ignore what we just done. It's just marking out, saving time for later, and we're going to continue working on the body. So, continuing with the body, we're going to come to this point here. Essentially, we're going to ignore the 4 blocks and come to the first block of the body. We're going to place 3 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and 3 green wool. The next layer is 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, 2 yellow wool, 2 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. The next layer is 1 green wool, 1 green stained clay, 4 yellow stained clay, 1 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. The next layer is 2 green stained clay, 4 yellow wool, and 2 green stained clay. And that is the 5th layer of the body. The next layer is 1 green stained clay, 6 yellow wool, and 1 green stained clay. And if you can't tell already, we've got a little pattern here for the stomach, which is of course the yellow, surrounded by the green, which is kind of like an outline. The next layer is 1 green stained clay, 6 yellow stained clay, and 1 green stained clay. The next 2 layers, so we're going to do this twice. The first layer is 1 green, 6 yellow wool, and 1 green. And then the next layer is the exact same. 1 green stained clay, 6 yellow wool, and 1 green stained clay. The next layer, which is the 10th layer, is going to be 1 green wool, 1 green stained clay, 4 yellow stained clay, 1 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. Again, I repeat, that was the 10th layer. The 11th layer was 1 green wool, 1 green stained clay, 4 yellow wool, 1 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. And then the final layer is 3 green wool, 2 yellow wool, and 3 green wool. And once you've done that, that will bring you up to the top of the statue. And I'm going to get rid of my arm and give you guys an opportunity to pause, catch up if you want. Again, that is 12 blocks tall, 8 blocks wide, and in total the statue right now should be 24 tall and 8 blocks wide, and should be looking something like this. Again, you can kind of see the lizard costume coming together a bit. If you want to pause, again, opportunity is here. I'm going to grab a map and again prove to you the whole coordinates system. So again, bear in mind my y coordinate on the floor is 5. I'm going to add 24 onto that. We're looking for y29. As you can see here is in fact y29. So factor in 24 blocks of floor. Saves you counting 24, because if you do that over and over again, it's going to annoy you. And me being lazy and me trying to cut as many corners as possible, it's a good tip to use. Okay, so on the basis you have got something looking like this, we're now going to move on to working on the arms. So we're going to start on the left arm first. The arms are 12 tall and 4 blocks wide. We come to the 13th layer of the build, we go 4 blocks to the left using green wool, and this is essentially the first layer of the left arm. Starting on the second layer, we're going to work from left to right, layer by layer. So the second layer is 4 green wool. The third layer is 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. And then the fourth layer is the exact same, 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. The next layer, which is the fifth layer, is 4 green stained clay. After that, we're going to do 2 green stained clay, 1 lime, and 1 green. The next layer is 1 green, 1 lime, and 2 green. So that was the seventh layer. I can't count, apparently. The 8th layer is 4 green stained clay. The next layer is 1 green wool, 2 clay, and 1 wool. And then the layer after that is the exact same. So that is the 9th and 10th layer is 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and 1 green wool. Again, that was the 9th and 10th layer. And then the final 2 layers is very, very easy. Just simply 4 green wool. That will come up to the same height as the top of the body if you've done things correctly. And it will give you a pattern which looks like this. Now, you can do stuff that's really, really interesting with the arms, giving them poses. I've done videos in the past that have posable arms, such as the El Diablo statue from Suicide Squad. So if you want to have a look at that, I'll leave a link in the description. It shows you how to do posable arms, so you could have his arm posed up, holding anything really. Again, you can play around and be creative and add whatever you want. So, moving on to the right arm now, or at least the front of the right arm, it is the exact same as the left side, just mirrored. So if you want to skip ahead and do it yourself, again, you're more than welcome to do so. However, I'm going to run you guys through it nevertheless, just in case. So, again, starting, we come to the 13th layer of the build, aka the first layer of the body. We go 4 blocks to the right using green wool. The second layer is 4 green wool again. And then the third and fourth layer is 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, 1 green wool. And again, that is the exact same for the next layer. So that's 2 layers of 1 green wool, 2 clay, and 1 wool. The fifth layer is 4 green stained clay. And the sixth layer is 1 green, 1 lime, 2 green. The seventh layer is 2 green, 1 lime, 1 green. And then the 8th layer is simply 4 green. After that, we have 1 green wool, 2 clay, and 1 wool. The next layer being the 10th layer, exact same, 1 wool, 2 clay, 1 wool. The final 2 layers is 4 green wool, and that will bring you up to the top of the statue, as you can see here, and will give you something that looks like this. As I said earlier, it is the exact same, a carbon copy of the other side, just flipped over, mirrored, I guess is the better word of saying, or the better way of saying. So, as you can see, this is what the statue looks like so far. This is the front side of the build complete, and it is looking kind of decent. However, it's flat, and we want to turn it into a statue. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start off by grabbing my arm back. That will be a good start. And we're going to start working on the sides. Now, bear in mind, if you are stuck, again, go back in the video, see where things aren't going to plan. I will be doing a more in-depth spin around in a second in the video, so stick around for that. But again, if you are having problems, go back and make sure everything currently is 24 tall and 16 wide, 8 wide without the arms. And again, I'll just give you a little opportunity to pause for each section if you want to do so. Okie dokie, so continuing now with the statue, we're going to come to the bottom left corner to this green stained clay right here. We're going to expand 1, 2, 3 to the left, and this is essentially the template for the side of the leg. So the side of the leg is 12 tall and 4 blocks wide. However, the fourth row is already done. So we don't need to build this. We're only placing 3 blocks because 3 plus 1 equals 4. And that is mathematics at its finest. So anyways, continuing with the build. The first layer is 3 green stained clay. And same with the second layer. So that's 2 layers of 3 green stained clay. The third layer, from left to right, is 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay. And then the next 3 layers is simply 3 green wool. The next layer is 1 green stained clay and 2 green wool. And then we have 2 layers of 3 green stained clay. The next layer is 1 green wool, 2 clay. And then the final 2 layers is 3 green wool. That will bring you up to the same height as this point here, and that will give you a 12 by 4, which as you can see head on is the side of the leg, and then from a side angle. So you kind of have the pattern that's at the front, it transfers onto the side, and then will also transfer around to the rear side of the statue. The good news is the other side is the exact same again, so if you want to copy it over, feel free. I'm going to go around and do it for you again, nevertheless. So, coming around to the right side now, again, same logic applies, come to this green stained clay here, 3 blocks to the right using green. The second layer is again 3 green stained clay, and then the third layer is 2 green and then 1 green wool. On top of that, we're going to do 3 layers of green wool, so that's a 3x3 square of green wool, and it turns into a 4x3 once it connects to this layer here. The next layer from left to right is 2 green wool and 1 green stained clay. On top of that, we're going to do 2 layers of green stained clay, and then a layer of 2 green and 1 green wool. On top of that, you'll have a 2 layer gap until you're at the top. We're simply going to place 2 layers of green wool, and that will bring you up to the top, give you again a 12 tool by a 4 wide area, and that is the right side of the leg. So again, brief second to pause if you want, and then from a side angle it should look like this. And I'm going to back up a little bit and show you what the statue should be looking like as a whole so far, just to give you a bit of an idea. So what we're going to do now, we've done the side of the legs, we're going to do the side of the arms. What we have to do for this though is build the base of the arms. So we're going to come around to the rear side of the statue and to the bottom layer of the arms, so this layer right here. For the first block, so on the left side, we're going to bring it back 1, 2, 3 using green wool, and we do the exact same for the other side. So for the fourth block, we place 1, 2, 3 green wool. We're going to connect these together on the block nearest to us using 2 green wool, and that will leave a 2x2 gap in the middle, but in general it should be a 4x4 square from below, as you can see, with a 2x2 gap in the middle. In this 2x2 gap, we're going to place our green stained clay. So you're simply just going to place a 2x2 of green stained clay. As you can see, it will look like this. Now you can use lime, doesn't really matter, but logic is you want a 4x4 square, the outline being green wool, and then the 2x2 in the middle being green stained clay. Same logic applies for the other side now. We go over to the other side. On the left side and the right side, we bring it back 3 using green wool, connect them placing 2 like that. That'll give you a 2x2 square in the middle, place green stained clay, and that'll give you a 4x4. Looks like this, and that is the base of the left arm. So essentially, it gives you 2 platforms to work on, this side, and we're going to start on this side, aka the left side of the left arm. So, same logic applies as the legs. It is a 12x4, this is the 4th layer, so we're only placing 3 for each row. The first layer starts off with 3 green wool. The second layer, again, is 3 green wool. Then we have 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and we do that twice, so green wool, and then 2 green stained clay. And that is the 3rd and 4th layer. The 5th layer is 3 green stained clay. And then the 6th layer is 1 green, 1 lime, 1 green. The layer after that is 2 green and 1 lime. And then the layer after that is 3 green stained clay. On top of this, we're going to do 1 green wool, 2 clay, and then exact same again. 1 wool, 2 clay, and then for the final 2 layers we're going to do 3 green wool. That will give you a 12x4 with a very, very simple pattern, as you can see here, and then from a side angle it looks like this. So exact same pattern as the front side. Good news is, same logic applies for the other side. So again, if you want to skip ahead and you don't want to listen to my voice anymore, which is fair enough I guess, then feel free to do that. Again, like I said before, I'm going to go over it just in case there is anyone out there who wants the help. Now, there's always someone, so if you don't need it, just skip ahead in the video, and I'll see you in a second. So, starting on the right side, again, it's a 12x4, it currently looks like an L shape. This is the 4th row, so we're only placing 3 blocks in each row. Starting off the bottom, the first 2 layers is 3 green wool. Then from left to right, we have 2 green stained clay and 1 green wool twice. So again, 2 green stained clay and 1 green wool. The 5th layer is 3 green stained clay. And then the 6th layer is 1 green clay, 1 lime clay, 1 green clay. The next layer is 1 lime, 2 green. And then the next layer is 3 green. Now again, in case you haven't noticed the pattern, we're going to be doing a 2x2 of green stained clay. So the next 2 layers is 2 green, 1 wool, and then 2 green, 1 wool. On top of that, just to bring it to the top, you're going to do 2 layers of 3 green wool, and that will give you your 12x4, as you can see here, and this is the right side of the arm. Again, now I'm going to do what I did before, just back up a second, give you guys an opportunity to pause, and just admire how the statue is starting to come together. However, if you come around to the rear side, you'll notice it's not so complete. It's a bit messy, a bit not complete. That's not really the best way of putting it. It's a bit rubbish. That's a good word. It's a bit empty and not finished. So that's what we're going to worry about now, is filling it all in, completing this area, and then ultimately moving on. So starting at the rear of the legs is just like the front side. It's 12 by 8, 12 tall and 8 blocks wide. However, we already have one block on the left and one block on the right. Should I say one row on the left, one on the right. So that's 2 already done, which means we're only doing 6 on each row, because 6 plus 2 equals 8. I'm really throwing out these great maths sequences here. Anyways, starting at the bottom, what we're going to do is we've got this one green stained clay here. I'm not going to list off the blocks for this one here because it should already be placed. So we start off by placing 2 lime, 2 green, and 2 lime. The second layer is 6 green stained clay. And then the third layer is 2 green wool, and then another 2 green stained clay. On top of this, we're going to place 2 layers of 6 green wool. So that'll be currently 5 blocks tall. The next layer is 2 green stained clay, 2 green wool, and 2 green stained clay. The layer after that is 1 lime, 4 green, 1 lime. The next layer is 2 lime, 2 green, 2 lime. The layer after that is 1 green, 1 lime, 2 green, 1 lime, and 1 green. Next, we're going to do 2 green, then 2 wool, and 2 green. And then the final 2 layers is simply 6 green wool. And that will give you your 12 by 8. As you can see, it's a very, very, very similar pattern to the front side. But again, it's the same kind of texture on the skin. Okie dokie, so moving now on to the rear side of the body. Now, unlike the front side, the rear side is green. And there is a tail. Now, we will be adding a tail. Not right now, but we will be. So, rest assured, there will be a tail. Now, we're going to start off on the body. Again, it is 12 by 8. We're going to start off in the bottom left corner by placing 3 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and 3 green wool. The next 3 layers is 1 green wool, 6 clay, and 1 green wool. Now, again, as I said, that's for 3 layers. So, 1 green wool, 6 clay, 1 wool, and then again, 1 wool, 6 clay, and 1 wool. The 5th layer of this build, or of this part should I say, is 3 green stained clay, 2 lime, and 3 clay. The next layer is 2 green clay, 4 lime, and 2 green clay. And again, 2 green clay, 4 lime, and 2 green clay. The next layer is 1 green wool, 2 green clay, 2 lime, 2 clay, and 1 green wool. Again, I keep on backing up just in case you want to pause and catch up. The next 3 layers, just like what we did before, is 1 wool, 6 green clay, and 1 wool. Apparently my block placement isn't too hot right now. And again, as I said, that's for 2 more layers, so it's 3 in total. And then for the final layer, it's simply 3 green wool, 2 clay, and then 3 green wool. That is 12 by 8 in total, and that is the rear side of the body. Apologies if my voice is getting a bit croaky, probably because it's 4 AM and I've recorded a ton of videos today, so my voice is slightly giving up, but we're going to power through. Again, one last opportunity, this is the rear side of the body, 12 by 8. Okie dokie, so moving on now, we're going to go to the rear side of the right arm. In this case, it's our left arm, but again, from the front view, this is the rear side of the right arm. The rear side, again, 12 by 4, 4th block already done, same with the first layer. So you're going to be doing 11 layers of 3 blocks. The second layer is 3 green wool, and then the third and fourth is 2 green stained clay, 1 wool. So you're going to notice something very, very similar, is that it's the exact same pattern again. So if you, again, you can already do it on your own, feel free. The next layer is 3 green stained clay. So that is the 5th layer. And the 6th layer is 1 lime, 2 green. The layer after that is 1 green, 1 lime, 1 green. And then the next layer is 3 green. On top of this, we're going to do 2 green and 1 green wall. And again, 2 green, 1 green wall. And then the final 2 layers is simply 3 green wall. Again, I'll back up just so you can pause for reference. That is the rear side of the right arm. For the shoulders, all we're going to do is just go ahead and fill it in using green wool. And this includes this part here as well. You can just fill it in solid using green wool. This part in the middle will be covered up, but it doesn't really matter too much. It's only, if you're in creative, I guess it's no hassle. If you're in survival, just make sure that the 4x4 for each side is covered, and this middle part doesn't really matter. Moving on to the rear side of the left arm now. Again, first 2 layers is green wool. So we've got the one that's already there and a second layer. The third layer is 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay, and same with the next one, 1 green wool, 2 green stained clay. The 5th layer is 3 green stained clay, and then the 6th is 2 green, 1 lime. For the 7th layer, we're going to place 1 green, 1 lime, and 1 green. For the 8th layer, we're going to place 3 green. For the 9th and 10th, we're going to place 1 green wool and 2 clay, and again, 1 green wool and 2 clay. And then for the 11th and 12th, the 2 final layers is simply 3 green wool, and it will look like this. Again, same pattern. So, for the shoulders, as I mentioned before, 16 wide, 4 thick, just solid green wool will do. You're not going to see half of it, so it's all good. So this brings us to the point in the video where we have the statue, or the body of the statue, fully complete. We will be, again, adding the tail, and I'm going to do that in just a second. However, what I'm going to do before that is a little spin around, a little progress, I guess, pause. Progress pause is not really a good way of putting it. A catch-up pause. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to come to a specific part of the statue. For example, this is the front of the legs. I'm going to state it's 12 tall, 8 blocks wide. If you want to pause, feel free. However, I'm not going to say that because it will drive you mad, me mad, everyone mad. So I'm just going to give you guys a second or two each time to pause. Just hit the pause button anyway to basically stop the video and then continue it when you're done. So, as I said, this is the front of the legs. That is 12 tall and 8 wide. Moving on up now, we have the front of the body. Again, 12 tall, 8 wide. The left side of the leg, again, 12 tall and 4 wide. And the underneath of the left arm, which is a 4x4. The left side of the arm now is a 12x4 again. Coming around to the right side, we have the right side of the leg, a 12x4. The right side of the arm, a 12x4. And then the underneath of the right hand, which is, again, a 4x4. Coming around to the rear side now with the rear side of the legs, which is 12x8. The rear side of the body, 12x8. And then again, the rear side of each arm, 12x4. Coming around to the final side now, which is of course the shoulders, 16 wide, 4 thick. And with that said, we can now move on to building ourselves a tail. And then ultimately the head to finish off the tutorial. So, for the tail, this is really complicated. And I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible to follow. But it is going to be a pain for me to explain because, as I said, it is relatively complicated. So what we're going to do is come around to the rear side. So the front side is the side with the yellow. We come around to the rear side. We're going to start off on the first side of the body. So in line with the start of the arms, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On this block, the 7th block, we're going to place a green wall. We're then going to leave a 2 block gap and place another green wall. And then again on this side there should be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 block gap. So 6 on the left, 6 on the right. On the 7th block for each side, we're going to place a green wall, and there should be a 2 block gap in the middle. Again, just in proportion, this is the 13th layer of the build, and this is on the rear side. We're then going to join them up by going diagonal and diagonal for each one, and it now looks like the under part of a smiley face. On each side, we're also going to go up one, again using green wool. It now looks like a U. And we're going to make it into a circle by going up diagonal and up diagonal, linking together and giving us a 2x2 in the middle. In this middle part, we're going to place a 2x2 of green stained clay, and that is the first layer of the tail. For the second layer, and we're going to be going layer by layer, there's like 6 in total I believe, we're going to start off on the bottom left corner of this green stained clay right here, and on top of it, we're going to place 1 green stained clay. We're going to go up 1, to left 1, and down 1, and that makes a 2x2. But we're not going to stop here. In the top left corner, we're going to go to the left 1, up 1, and to the right 1. So it's essentially 2 2x2 squares connected. So as you can see, they're connected with this block in the middle being the connecting point. The next layer, we're going to go up to the top left corner of this block again, and we're going to start off by placing 1 block. We're then going to go down one, to the left one, up one, and up one again. We're then going to go down one and to the left one, and that is the third layer. So again, just to go over that again, you come to the top left corner of the second layer, you place a block on top. You go down one, left one, up twice, then down one again, and to the left one. So it's 6 blocks in total. And again, that is the third layer of the tail. It sounds weird saying there's layers of the tail, but there is. For the next layer, what we're going to do is the final block we just placed, this one that comes off to the left one block, we're going to bring it forwards one again and go up twice. So it's now 3 tall. On the middle one, we're going to go to the left one. As you can see, the tail is starting to take shape right now. As you can see, it looks like this from the side angle. And for the final layer, I guess I say it's a layer, it's like 4. What we're going to do is come to this top block here, and we're going to go forwards and diagonal. So forwards and to left one, punch out this one, and it's like a diagonal left, essentially. We're then going to go to left one and up one, and punch out the block below that, so it goes up diagonal to left again. So as you can see, it's starting to take shape. We're then going to go up diagonal to left twice more. But the way we're going to do this is we're going to go to left one, up one, and then behind it we're going to place one. And then we're going to punch out the 2 blocks. So we're bringing it towards the statue, and it literally connects up by the tip right there. And we're going to do that again. So we go to left one, up one, behind one, punch out the 2 originals, and it will connect diagonally to the tip right there. And that is the tail, again, looping back round and going back towards the body. So again, it's made up of simple layers. I'm not going to go over it again. I'll give you a brief overview of what it looks like from each side, and you can pause if you want, if that's any help. But again, layer by layer, it's pretty simple, and if you take your time, it should come out looking really nice. Alrighty, so tail complete. That leaves us with one thing, and that is the head. So we're going to come around to the front side of the body. You can't really see the tail from the front side, but then from the corner angle, you definitely can, so that's super, super cool. And anyways, starting for the head. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our white stained clay. As you can see here, I've already got on my hotbar. And we're going to come to the top left corner. Again, make sure at the front side, the side with the yellow. We're going to count 5 blocks to the right. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And on this 5th block, which is a green wall, we're going to place a white stained clay and bring it 2 forwards. We're then going to do the exact same on the right side now. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block, we're going to place a white stained clay and bring it 2 forwards. To join them together, we're going to place 6 blocks in the middle, so 6 white stained clay for each side, and that will give you an 8x2 overhang on the front side of the body, which looks like this. We're then going to go around to the left side of the head. Now currently, it is 3 thick. What we're going to do is expand it backwards, 1 block using white stained clay, 1 black stained clay, and this is where we're going to need our brown and also our grey. We're going to place 1 grey, and then 2 black stained clay. What that will do is overextend the back of the body by 2 blocks. We're then going to do the exact same on the other side now. So we go 1 white stained clay, 1 black stained clay, 1 grey, and 2 black. And it will extend 2 blocks over the rear side of the head. Or the rear side of the body, should I say. What we're then going to do is like what we did on the other side. We're going to fill the blocks, 6 block gap in between for 2 layers. So the first layer we're going to place 6 grey stained clay. And then for the second layer, we're going to place 2 grey, 2 black, and 2 grey. Again, that's an 8x2 overhang, and it looks like this. You can change it up a tiny bit on the rear side of the head. It's not 100% like sure what you need to place in this first layer, because you're not really going to be able to see it unless you really go underneath the head. But what that gives us is 2 8x2 overhangs. Most importantly, it gives us an 8x8 square. This is the template for the head. So we've got front side, left side, right side, rear side. We're going to start on the front side, aka the face, and then we'll work from there. So for the front side, aka the face, the first layer is 8 white stained clay, and same with the next layer. The second layer is again 8 white stained clay. The third layer, we're going to need our quartz now. So the third layer is 1 white stained clay, 1 quartz, 1 black stained clay, 2 quartz, 1 black, 1 quartz, and 1 white stained clay. The next layer is 1 black stained clay, 1 quartz, 1 brown stained clay, 2 white, 1 brown, 1 quartz, and 1 black stained clay. That was again the 4th layer. The 5th layer is 1 grey, 1 black, 2 white, 1 black, 1 grey, 1 black, and 1 brown. Again, that was the 5th layer. The 6th layer is 1 brown, 4 grey stained clay, and 3 brown. That is the 6th layer. The 7th, we're going to need our black wool now. So we're going to place a row of solid 8 black wool. And then the final layer, the 8th layer, we're going to place 3 black wool. We then need our white and our red. We're going to place 1 white wool, 1 red, and then 3 black wool. And that is now an 8 by 8 square. Now each side of the head is 8 by 8 because in total it's an 8 by 8 cube. So 8 by 8 by 8, should I say. And it's 8 by 8 on each side. So there's a bunch of 3D effects we're going to add to the face. So we're going to be adding some hair, eyebrows, of course the 2 cigarettes, and the hat. So for the hat, what we're going to do is we're going to bring it forwards a layer. So the 7th layer of the build, the second to top layer, we're going to bring it forwards a row of 8 black wool. And we're going to do the exact same, but this time we're going to leave 1 block, bring it forward 6 blocks, and then leave 1 block. And that will essentially bring it forwards 2, and it will give you something that looks like this. That is the 3D effect for the hat complete, and now we'll start beginning to work on the other stuff. So for the cigarettes, we're going to come to the bottom left corner, we're going to leave a 1, 2, and on the 3rd block gap, we're going to place 1 white wool, 1 black wool, and then we're going to need our acacia plank, so we place 1 acacia plank, and that is the left one. We're then going to leave a 2 block gap, and on this block, so there should be a 2 block gap again on this side, we're going to place again 1 white wool, 1 black wool, and 1 acacia plank. And that is both cigarettes on his face. The next part we're going to add is his eyebrows. So we're going to need dark oak plank slabs. What we're going to do is on both eyes, on the upper block of the upper eye, we're going to place 2 slabs. So essentially it should cover half his eye. So again, on the upper block of the eyes, so the upper quartz block, on the upper part of it, so not on the lower part, not like this, on the upper part, we're going to place 2 slabs on each side. And then the final part of this little 3D part we're going to be adding is the hair. So we're going to start on the top layer of the hair. We're going to leave a 3 block gap, come to the 4th one. We're going to place 2 grey stained clay and then 3 brown stained clay. Underneath this, starting with the black stained clay here, we're going to bring it forwards 1. So 1 black stained clay, 1 grey, 1 black, 1 grey, and then 1 black. So in total, as you can see here, it's 5 blocks on the top layer, 4 and then 1. And it will look like this. And once you've done that, that is the front side of the head complete. So I'm going to give you guys a second to pause, catch up if you want, and then we'll continue on to the left side of the head. So coming around to the left side now, again it is 8 by 8. The first layer is already done, so it's 2 black stained clay, 1 grey, 1 black, and then 3 white stained clay. The second layer is 1 black stained clay, 1 grey, 1 brown, 1 grey, 2 black, and then 1 white stained clay. The next layer is 1 grey, 1 brown, 1 grey, 1 brown, 1 grey, and then 2 white stained clay. The fourth layer is 1 grey, so 1 grey, 1 brown, 1 grey, 1 brown, 1 grey, and then we got 1 black stained clay and then 1 white stained clay. The sixth layer is 5 brown stained clay, and then 2 grey stained clay, and then the 6th layer is simply 7 brown stained clay. For the final 2 layers, we're going to place 7 black wool, and that will bring you up to the top, and that will give you an 8 by 8 square, as you can see here, and that is the left side of the head complete. Now, again, the right side is the exact same, so if you want to copy that over, you can. I'm going to go around to the right side now and do it for you. So, starting on the right side, first layer again, is 4 white stained clay, 1 black stained clay, 1 grey, and 2 black. The second layer is 1 white stained clay, 2 black, 1 grey, 1 brown, 1 grey, and 1 black. The third layer is 2 white stained clay, 1 grey, 1 brown, grey, brown, grey. The next layer is 1 white stained clay, 1 black, 1 grey, brown, grey, brown, grey. And that is the fourth layer. The fifth layer is 2 grey and 5 brown. And then the 6th layer is simply 7 brown. Final 2 layers, just like the other side, is solid black wool. And that will again give you an 8x8. Now it might throw you off because we have the little 3D effect here, but it shouldn't. That's what it looks like in total. Just completely ignore this row for now. That's part of the front side and it's not included. This block here to the top right corner here is all we're dealing with at the moment. And then again from the side angle just to give you a view of what it's looking like so far. So as you can see, it's really, really accurate and looking super nice. 2 sides left before we wrap up the video. So the rear side of the head, again, which is an 8x8, currently looks like a U. Now each block is 6 wide because block on left, block on right. So starting on the first layer, again we've got black stained clay, 2 grey, 2 black, 2 grey, 1 black. The second layer is 1 grey, 1 brown, 2 grey, 1 brown, 1 grey. The third layer is 3 brown, 1 grey, 2 brown. The next layer is 3 brown, 1 grey, 2 brown. The next 2 layers is 6 brown stained clay, and then the final 2 layers of course is 6 black wool. And that will bring you up to the top and give you again an 8x8 square. So, one side remaining. What we're going to do for this side is come to the front side and look at it from an aerial view. What we're going to do it layer by layer, not including the outlines. We're going to start in the top left corner by placing 2 black wool. We then need our grey wool. Please tell me I grabbed grey wool. I didn't. Okay, so you're going to need grey wool. I brought carpets instead. What we're going to do is place 2 grey wool, 2 black wool. The next layer, coming forwards, so we're starting at the back, coming towards the front, we're going to place 1 black wool, 4 grey, and 1 black wool. The next 2 layers is 6 grey, so again, 2 layers of 6, and then we're going to start working it back in again, so 1 black, 4 grey, and 1 black, and then the final layer is 2 black, 2 grey, and 2 black. Now there's no problem with having it look like this. However, one thing I like to do, just so it looks really complete and you don't have the red and white showing on the top side, because on the hat it's at the front and not on the top, what you go ahead and do is just do a solid layer of black carpet on top. Now, not over the grey wool, just on the black wool and then the red and white wool. So just do a solid layer of black carpet, all on top of the top layer of the head, and just go around and do, as I said, a solid layer. And it will look like this. Now the problem with that is then the grey is indented, so we're going to do a layer of grey carpet on top of the grey wool. So the grey carpet, or should I say the grey wool, just acts as a template for where we place our grey carpet. And once you've done that, it will look like this. As you can see, it's like a centered circular shape, and then from the front view it also looks like this, makes it look like the red and white wool is actually set back and isn't on top. With that said, that is the tutorial complete. We have got your very own LeafyIsHere statue tutorial, or statue build, should I say, in your world now. So I really do hope you enjoyed. Again, if you did, let me know. I'll spin around the head whilst I'm rambling. So let me know down in the comments below. I really want to see some feedback on the video. And again, I was a bit worried in this video because I know it might attract the wrong kind of audience to my channel. My channel is very child friendly and I like to keep it that way, purely because it's what I built the channel on and I don't want to kick away and push away the viewers that I've earned over the years. So again, I really want to hear what you guys thought about it. Let me know if you want to see any of the other characters that are commonly associated with Leafy, Pirate Cynical, people like that. I've got designs for it ready, and if you want to see it, then I can get a tutorial out. So, thank you very much for watching. Again, I really do hope you enjoyed. If you did build this and want to tweet me a picture at GummyBearGames on Twitter, feel free to do so. And I might even drop you a follow because I love seeing you guys share stuff with me on Twitter. So again, quick little promotion, I guess, at GummyBearGames on Twitter. Until next time anyways, my name has been Tom Gummy. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through?